Today we're going to make a modern drink. Remember the Alimony. For this drink, you're going to need a double old-fashioned glass, a jigger, a bar spoon, a julep strainer, a mixing glass, and a vegetable peeler. This drink uses dry sherry, Cynar, gin, and an orange peel for garnish. This drink was created by Dan Greenbaum in 2012 when he was managing the cocktail program at the Beagle, a bar he co-owned in New York. Greenbaum is a master at building sherry cocktails, and the Beagle featured a section on its menu dedicated to sherry, as well as several sherry-based cocktails. Like a lot of other great drinks of its generation, this one used the Negroni as a template. It was retooled to work with sherry, so the sweet vermouth was swapped out for sherry, and the Campari was swapped out for Cynar. But in order to achieve a better balance for the drink, Greenbaum had to play with the measurements. He lowered the gin, and boosted both the sherry and the Cynar. The result was pretty spectacular. The flavors are complex and unexpected, yet light and easy to sip. In the past couple years, low-ABV drinks have been a growing trend in the cocktail world. And although this one wasn't specifically designed that way, it would fit right in on the low-ABV section of any menu. Greenbaum prefers a classic London dry for the gin, specifically Beefeater. I like it with a funky new wave gin, particularly one that has an odd distillate for the base, like Copper and Kings, which uses apple, Astral Pacific, which uses clementines, or Monkey 47, which uses molasses. The unusual base gives the drink a light fruitiness that I love. But again, to build it the way it was intended, you'll want to use Beefeater. In terms of the sherry, the recipe calls for a dry sherry, specifically Fino. It's more delicate than the Oloroso you'd use in a Smuggler's Cove fog cutter, and it's lighter than the Manzanilla you'd use in a Woolworth. And even though it's not the sherry I used in the video, Fino Sherry was the coup de grace on Simon Ford's Bloody Mary recipe. It won't exactly be the same thing, but I've made this drink with Manzanilla and Oloroso, and it still turns out pretty great. Cynar is a bitter liqueur, or amaro, made from artichokes. The standard version is the 33 proof red label, but Cynar comes in the stronger 70 proof expression as well. This recipe calls for the standard Cynar, but if you're looking to experiment a little, it's fun to keep the same proportions and beef up the ABV by using a stronger 70 proof Cynar and a Navy strength gin. The stronger one is fun, but it's not quite the same drink. It'll definitely hit you harder, and you might end up forgetting the Alimony. The name of this drink is a great pun, with just enough mystery to tickle your imagination. It was conceived as a kind of a cockney rhyming slang for a Negroni, as in, remember the Alimony? Negroni? Something like that. But it also fit right in with a couple other drinks from the Beagle's menu, like the second Marriage and Haitian Divorce. Unfortunately, the Beagle closed in 2013, but luckily Remember the Alimony is on the menu of Greenbaum's new venture, Diamond Reef. And this is an excellent alternative option when you're looking for something to change it up with during Negroni week. Or any other week for that matter. Let's start by chilling our glass. Drop in a large hunk of ice and set it aside. Next, we're going to measure 1 1/4 ounces of sherry. Add that to the mixing glass. With this jigger, that's 2 pours. Measure 1 1/4 ounces of Cynar. Add that to the mixing glass. This one's also 2 pours. Measure 3/4 ounce of gin. Add that to the mixing glass. Add ice and stir it well to chill it down and give it some dilution. Then strain the contents of your mixing glass over the ice in your double old-fashioned glass. Cut a wide swath of orange peel, being careful not to cut into the white pith. Express the oils of your orange twist over the drink, rub it along the rim of your glass, and drop it in for garnish. And there it is, a Negroni variation you won't forget. Remember the Alimony. Cheers. You can support this channel by clicking on the Patreon link here. Check out some more videos, be sure to subscribe, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For links, more info, and the printed recipe, check out the description below.